What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Sit Down Saturday, and today we're going to return with the verses with the Magic Square versus New Age Mirage. Now, unfortunately, Robert D sent both of these to me. Well, I guess that's fortunately. Unfortunately, he sent the tune version of the Magic Square with the toy version of the New Age, but I think we can extrapolate it enough in our minds, put our thinking caps on, and use our imagination in order to get to the bottom of it. Imagination, which is just like using your imagination to pretend that I actually said the word imagination. Look how all that worked out. Let the universe do what it does, I suppose. I'm always having a good time with these because I don't really have a dog in the fight and don't really care how they turn out. You know, like I don't even have like a winner that I'm hoping for or rooting for. So they're always interesting for me. Couple housekeeping things. One thing, the RC, someone pointed out to me that you can kind of tuck her antenna around to the back to kind of hide the antenna a bit more. Kudos to him. So yes, you can do that. That will obviously help with aesthetics. Couple people pointed out the magnets in her feet. I don't know why they're there. I can't make heads or tails of it, but one thing I do know is some people pointed out that it helps with stability. I mean, I guess if she's standing on a piece of metal, but most of us don't have her standing on a piece of metal, and even if it is metal, it has to be magnetic metal. It's a whole thing, right? So it doesn't really help with that. But yeah, great figure for sure. Also, hope you guys watched the Megatron Ravage video. Please feel free to email me, bobbyskullface@gmail.com. Let me know if you're interested. I'll explain to you the logistics and we can move forward. They did turn out really nice. They are numbered. This is limited 2-week offer. Please take advantage of it if you intend to do so. I always get people at the end that want to like grab one, and I don't always have an extra. I really do this kind of made to order, and of course a portion of the proceeds do go towards a charity that will be announced by the end of the year. One last thing of business, I did open up a members only feature on the YouTube channel. This is namely because I have heard from some people that they aren't comfortable using Patreon. I've heard from other people that Patreon doesn't play nice with all countries around the world, etc., etc. So I opened up a members only feature on my YouTube channel. It's $5 a month, and it will get you all the other non-Transformer reviews. So G.I. Joe Classified, NECA stuff, SH Figuarts, Black Series, Marvel Legends, you know, odds and ends, just hot toys, all that kind of stuff. I advise, if you can, to use Patreon. You get more bang for your buck. But if you don't like Patreon or it doesn't work well in your region, I have this available to you as well. In order to do so, I had to open up the tip, the thanks thing, whatever. If you want to leave a thanks, you can. You don't have to. It's okay. With that being said, I think we can go ahead and get started. Remember, I had to stay as objective as possible. I had to kind of be the judge and jury and sometimes executioner of these things. And for instance, when it comes to scale, I use the Sunbow chart because it's the only sort of thing to base it off of. I know the Sunbow chart isn't always accurate. I know that the Sunbow designs aren't always accurate, but I have to have some sort of base to judge something off of. I can't just go episode to episode because then it sort of plays to somebody's bias as to what they think looks better in each episode. If I keep it fair across the board, it's the best we can do. And we'll start with accessories. They both come with the over-the-shoulder rocket launcher. I'm giving them equal credit because the New Age has 2 missile options, but the included transformation piece, and the Magic Square has the extra piece that clips on, and just they both do the same job. I don't think that one is any more spectacular than the other. They both come with a rifle, but Magic Square takes it because it comes with an extra face, as doofy as it is. As for gimmicks, they tie because neither of them have it. Moving on to build and materials. The build is actually great on both. Even the Magic Square one is a little bit more solid than I'm used to given their materials. Like, it's a little bit more dialed in, it's a little bit more focused. But the materials, of course, go to New Age because they're better, really. It's fine, because. And for hardware, it's a tie as well. They both use ball pegs, pinned hinges, etc., etc. Moving on to sculpt and paint. Now, obviously, this is a little tricky because he sent the wrong Mirage. But I think we can still get an idea. So the overall presentation from the front, I think it has to go to Magic Square. The New Age just looks a little bit more clunky and clumsy, namely due to how it handles the side pieces on the legs, as well as the spoiler on the back of the knees. It just looks a little less purposeful. I am gonna bring in a picture, because I think this is the hardest one to do without having the proper version of it here. And when I say proper, I mean the comparably proper version. But honestly, I think that they're a tie, and usually it would be a no-brainer for me to give it to New Age, but this is one of those instances where Magic Square kind of really stepped up their game, in my opinion, and really nailed a face sculpt. So, not that I think their face sculpts are trash, I just find their face sculpts to be like a little bit less in general, just a little bit more goofy, a little bit more cartoony, and I don't mean that in a toon accurate way, I mean that kind of in a childish way. But this is one that I think they really nailed, so I'm going to tie them out here from the front. From the side, and obviously we're not looking at the right one, but I don't think there's anything super noteworthy about one over the other. As for the torso, I'm actually going to tie them out because I like the chrome look better on the abdomen of the New Age, but I like the way that the chest tapers down to the abdomen on the Magic Square. Paint accents are about equal. We're not going to count the 26 Elf because we would be comparing the Toon Deco had he sent it, but the New Age is painted more in general. From the side, I actually think the Magic Square is generally cleaner. It has more to do with the backpack piece than it does with the actual torso, but the way it cleans up just makes for a more cohesive look. So I'll give that to Magic Square. For the arm, I'm going to tie them out. They're pretty much identical, so nothing really to report. From the side, I'm giving it to Magic Square. And not just because it's cleaner, which it is, but also because it's not like the New Age is not clean because of sculpted detail. The New Age is not clean because of just assembly and engineering, and that's the difference. For the pelvis, I'm tying them out, and I'm not giving New Age points for the extra paint apps because it's not on the blue and white version, or the Toon version, I guess I should say. From the side, the Magic Square is just more purposeful, just looks more put together. So it's gotta get the point. As for the legs, it's tricky. The thighs on the New Age might be more aesthetically pleasing to me, just barely and proportionately, but the New Age kind of really screws the pooch on the legs, like the lower legs, but the Magic Squares don't look as interesting without the chrome, but that's not really a sculpt thing, so I think, you know, this is where the Magic Square kind of tosses this figure around the room a bit. From the side, once again, the whole Magic Square one is just done a little bit more elegantly and a little bit more purposeful, and it's a little bit more cohesive. I mean, even to include like the kind of difference in font and size of the 26 versus the NES, like there's just a lot of things about it that just kind of nail it. From the back, the Magic Square has to get it as well, pretty much for everything it's got it for the whole time, just more put together, more purposeful, more cohesive, just the same kind of things. That's really what it has over the New Age aesthetically, which is not usually the course, like par for the course in my opinion. They both usually do a really good job of that, but the New Age just doesn't quite get it on this one. So, I mean, as you can see, this is pretty much a slaughterhouse. I am editing this currently and working my way from front to back, just like you guys, in the sense of watching it, so I don't really know how it's going to work out points-wise yet. But this is one of those examples where it's like, even if New Age wins, and people are like, but the Magic Square looks so much better, like this was like, yeah, it does, because it scored 6-1. New Age won the thighs, and they tied on the head sculpt, which I think is even debatable. But yeah, I mean, I agree, the Magic Square does look better, and as a result, it shows improves in this category. New Age takes the paint. Articulation. The New Age is on a ball peg. You get a little bit up, nothing down, the swivel, and a little bit of confused Mirage look. Magic Square, you get the swivel, you get up, you get down, and a little bit of confused Mirage look. Shoulders on a ball peg out to 90 degrees. 360 around, but because they articulate on the shoulder, you also get an outward movement. For the Magic Square, it's simply out and around. Bicep swivel, bicep swivel. Elbows on a single hinge that gets you slightly more than 90 degrees. Elbows on a single hinge that gets you slightly more than 90 degrees. Wrist hinge in out, but no swivel. Wrist swivel with no hinge in out. Waist swivel, no ab crunch. Waist swivel, ab crunch. T-jointed ball joints for hips that get you the full Van Damme and the full Monty. Universal joints for hips that get you out to here and forward and back to there. Thigh swivel, thigh swivel. Single hinge knee that gets you 90 degrees. Double hinge knee that gets you almost the full run. You get a toe tilt down, a no toe tilt up with a toe rocker. You get a toe tilt up, no toe tilt. Oh, you do get a toe tilt down, pardon me, with a rocker. Articulation-wise, once again, the New Age is able to take the shoulders due to the outward movement, as well as the hips due to range of motion, but Magic Square takes the overall head movement. It has an ab crunch, so it takes the torso movement, has a wider range of motion in the knees, and is able to get an ankle tilt up and down, as opposed to the New Age, whereas they tie at the bicep, elbow, wrist, hands, and thighs, making Magic Square edge New Age out 4-2 here. So according to the Sunbow chart, the Magic Square Mirage is too tall. In fact, he comes up closer to where Ironhide should theoretically be, with Ironhide coming in at about the line to the bicep to the shoulder. That's almost exactly where the Magic Square one comes into. Whereas the New Age is actually more appropriately scaled to its own collection, with the Brawn, or as we have here, Outback, but I guess we could have Brawn, just so you guys guys don't think that I'm slipping one past you. Comes up to just about the shoulder height of the Carbot, which is what it should be according to the scale chart. I don't think either of them are egregiously wrong, but I think that the New Age one is actually done more appropriately. And when you back out to where he would be against Megatron, and even to the Magic Square Prime, he fits in, honestly, more appropriately with both. Take that for what you will. As for transformation, honestly, both of their transformations are pretty cool, intuitive, interesting, enjoyable, etc., etc. Problem is, the New Age materials once again get in the way of the fluidity of the piece, causing for a less enjoyable experience than the Magic Square. So while I think that both are good, I do have to consider the New Age to be better. So I'm giving them the point for engineering, but they both are pretty interesting. And the Magic Square is more intricate, to be fair. But I do think having a fun transformation is almost more important for a Legends figure than it is for anything else. Moving into alt mode, I think they both do a great job. I prefer the silver accents and stuff on the Magic Square. I prefer the silver accents and stuff on the New Age, but I know that the Magic Square is going for tune accuracy, so we have to allow for that. And I think it's only fair to admit that they both do what they're trying to do well. Both of them look like cars. Both of them do a good job of getting there in that regard, so let's tie them out. As for tune accuracy, obviously, once again, we're looking at the toy version of the Magic Square, but I think that we can see here, it doesn't matter which way you color this thing or retool the head, the Magic Square definitely gets it closer to the cartoon model, without a doubt. So they take the point there as well. In regard to price, New Age Mirage was 60 bucks. Magic Square was 50 bucks. So Magic Square takes the point on price. Which one do you think looks better?
Guess I'm gonna say that one.
Okay. And pick them up. I'll get it.
Oh, the other one moves better, I think. This one's a little wonky, little wiggly.
Okay. All right, Gina, which one do you think looks better?
I personally like this one better.
Okay. And pick them up.
Oh yeah, this one feels better.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that she just doesn't like the way Transformers look, to be honest with you. All right, Selena, which one do you think looks better?
That one.
I agree. Which one do you think feels better? I'll pass them to you.
Don't know, they feel the same.
Okay. All right, you tell me. Which one do you think looks better?
The tall one.
And which one do you think feels better?
This one.
Tall one?
No.
Short one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye!
Which brings us to our final scores. So they tie at gimmicks because neither of them had them. They tie at build because they're both built fairly well. They tie at hardware because neither of them have them. Tie at alt mode because they both get it close enough. Neither of them perfect, but neither of them with any serious criticism. And surprisingly, they tie at presence because my family was split on them, which is always interesting to look at because I almost went ahead and put the check in because I just figured they'd all like the Magic Square one better because of the size and sort of cleanliness of it, and turns out I was wrong. It's always the interesting part of this for me. New Age takes the materials because it always will. It takes paint because it gives a lot of love in that department. It takes scale because it just approaches it more appropriately, and it takes transformation, which ties in largely to the materials. Magic Square takes accessories by one, articulation by a landslide, sculpt by a landslide, price and accuracy for a final score of 5-4 Magic Square. I really thought this was going to be a lot bigger of a wash. Like, I thought Magic Square was just gonna throw New Age around the room on this one, but New Age kind of gets in their points where they can. It's kind of an interesting battle between these two companies. And there you have it. Shocking a bit to me. Honestly, I didn't even think it was going to be close. I really, I'm more of a New Age fan. I don't really care, but I'm more of a New Age fan. I thought Magic Square was going to mop the floor with them. Turns out it wasn't a mop in the floor. It just was what it was. And New Age hung in there despite having an aesthetic that is a little bit more clunky than what they are kind of generally used to cranking out. So always interesting to take a look at. Sorry once again for the Toon versus Toy aesthetic. Hopefully we did the best we could and we could get past it. With that being said, I'll see you on Monday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.